big development today about Elon Musk's package, his compensation package at Tesla, I'm referring to. This from the official Tesla account on X. A letter to our shareholders on the 2025 CEO Interim Award. Dear fellow Tesla shareholders, today we announce an important first step in compensating Elon Musk for his extraordinary work at Tesla. As you know, Elon has not received meaningful compensation for 8 years since the 2012 CEO Performance Award was last earned in 2017. Let's just take a moment to consider that. The guy's been working essentially for free for close to a decade. This is insane and outrageous, and we'll talk more about the See You Next Tuesday pretending to be a judge who robbed Tesla shareholders of their free will. But let's continue with this letter. Despite overwhelming support from you in 2018 and again in 2024, our legal efforts continue in the Delaware courts to reinstate the 2018 CEO Performance Award. Despite these illegal challenges, we can all agree that Elon has delivered the transformative and unprecedented growth that was required to earn all milestones of the 2018 CEO Performance Award. By the way, fact check true, a bunch of important milestones were laid out, all of which were met. There's roughly a dozen tranches, each with an incremental increase in compensation tied directly to important milestones, which at the time people said were impossible, ridiculous, no way, etc. And as a result, as the letter continues, this growth has translated into immense value generated for Tesla and all of our shareholders. Fact check true. To recognize what Elon has accomplished and the extraordinary value he delivered to Tesla and our shareholders, we believe we must take action to honor the bargain that was struck in 2018. After all, a deal is a deal. Thus, as evidence that Tesla is committed to honoring its promise in the 2018 CEO Performance Award and intends to compensate its CEO for his future services commensurate with his contributions to our company and shareholders, we have recommended this award as a first step good faith payment to Elon. And now the letter moves on to the topic of the blight to the quote-unquote justice system, Kathleen McSeebohm, who has in a single decision destroyed the reputation of Delaware as the place to incorporate businesses, caused a major flight of companies out of Delaware, and twice spat directly in the face of Tesla shareholders who initially overwhelmingly voted in support of this compensation package for Musk. Then, after she overturned this, like no right to do this by the way, we vote again, say fuck off bitch, no, we want the guy to get paid just like we did then, we're voting again, and guess what, again, she said no money for you. Quote, Delaware litigation continues to loom over us after 7 years. As we told you last year, the 2018 CEO Performance Award resulted in a $2.3 billion stock-based compensation charge to Tesla, but brought about $735 billion of increased market capitalization. So to translate that, a roughly 300 times return on investment. Put differently, Elon Musk, of that $735 billion increase in market capitalization, was compensated to the tune of about 0.3%, a third of 1% of that value increase. Truth be told, Elon got fucked over. If you bring this much value to shareholders through extraordinary leadership and execution, I'd be happy for him to get compensated far more. And it's important to understand this wasn't cash that he was given. These are stock awards, options for Elon Musk to buy shares at a predetermined price. Despite delivering such extraordinary returns, that award continues to be in legal limbo despite 2 separate shareholder votes supporting it by large margins. Again, due to one truly deranged, high and mighty shithead activist pretending to be a judge with a bone to pick. How dare she? Furthermore, we have no clear timeline for resolution as we are still waiting not only for a ruling, but a hearing date to be heard in front of the Delaware Supreme Court. Rewarding Elon for what he has done and continues to do for Tesla is the right thing to do. Retaining Elon is more important than ever before. Today, Tesla is at a critical inflection point that has the potential to create continued extraordinary value for you, the shareholders. Through Elon's unique vision and leadership, Tesla is transitioning from its role as a leader in the electric vehicle and renewable energy industries to grow towards becoming a leader in AI, robotics, and related services. To succeed, it requires a leader who combines strategic foresight, adaptability, and relentless execution to outperform competition and inspire the team. Sounds like a good role for somebody like Elon Musk. Elon has demonstrated these unmatched leadership abilities time and time again with his unparalleled track record of delivering shareholder value since he joined as a founding figure and spearheaded the transformation of our extraordinary company. And while these impending changes are exciting, the outcomes are not guaranteed. It is imperative to retain and motivate our extraordinary talent, beginning with Elon. The war for AI talent is intensifying, with recent months including multi-billion-dollar acquisitions of companies and 9-figure cash compensation packages for non-founder individual AI engineers. And by the way, this is true. I mean, some of these folks, we're now starting to get into the realm of roughly billion-dollar compensation packages for the world's best and brightest AI talent. Extraordinary stuff. And the reason, of course, is because of the extraordinary gains, growth, opportunity, transformation, value, and profits AI will usher in. Even among this group of highly talented individuals, no one matches Elon's remarkable combination of leadership experience, technical expertise, and, arguably most importantly, decades-long proven track record of building the most revolutionary and profitable businesses across different industries. While we recognise that Elon's business ventures, interests, and other potential demands on his time and attention are extensive and wide-ranging, including his leadership roles at xAI, SpaceX, Neuralink, X Corp, and The Boring Company, as well as his other interests, we are confident that this award will incentivise Elon to remain at Tesla and focus his unmatched leadership abilities on further creating shareholder value for Tesla shareholders and attracting and retaining talent at Tesla, by the way, very important. Hypothetically, if Musk were no longer at Tesla, it wouldn't just be that he's no longer leading the company and helping to execute and moving things along. But think about all the engineers, the best and the brightest, who were like, well, I don't want to work here now that Elon's gone. Fuck that. To be clear, losing Elon would not only mean the loss of his talents, but also the loss of a leader who is a magnet for, I spoke too soon. He's a leader, a magnet for hiring and retaining talent at Tesla. The special committee believes now is the right time to take decisive action to recognise the extraordinary value that Elon created for Tesla shareholders. As such, the board, with Elon Musk and Kimball Musk, by the way, who are both on the board, recusing themselves, aka not being involved, has unanimously approved a recommendation from the special committee of the board to grant Elon an award of restricted stock equal to approximately 1/3 of the compensation he earned under the 2018 CEO Performance Award. So, let's read the award provisions. 96 million restricted shares of Tesla stock, subject to Elon paying a purchase price upon meeting a 2-year vesting term, to be delivered after receipt of antitrust regulatory approval. Long story short, 96 million potential shares, but Elon has to buy them. They're not free. On to the next point. The purchase price will be equal to the split-adjusted exercise price of the stock options awarded to Elon under the 2018 CEO Performance Award, which was $23.34 per share. So Elon would have to cough up about $2.25 billion for these 96 million shares. By the way, side note, I wish I could still buy Tesla stock for $23 a share. Oh wait, no I don't. I bought as much as I possibly could at those prices with every spare cent. No regrets, motherfuckers. Next, a requirement that Elon serve continuously in a senior leadership role at Tesla during the 2-year vesting term. A pledging allowance to cover tax payments or the purchase price, which again, about $2.25 billion. A mandatory holding period of 5 years from the grant date, aka Elon cannot sell any of those shares for at least 5 years, except to cover tax payments or the actual purchase price. And it also notes, with any sales for such purposes to be conducted through an orderly disposition in coordination with Tesla, aka Elon can't just dump a fuck ton of Tesla stock without letting Tesla know and planning things out, which mechanically could cause the stock price to temporarily crash. And if the Delaware courts fully reinstate the 2018 CEO Performance Award, this interim award will be forfeited or returned, or a portion of the 2018 CEO Performance Award will be forfeited. To put it simply, there cannot be any double dip. Elon will not be able to keep this new award in addition to the options he will be awarded under the 2018 CEO Performance Award should the courts rule in our favour. The special committee, consisting of the two of us, was formed earlier this year to consider how best to retain and incentivise Elon in a manner that aligned with the best interests of the company. Now, for those wondering who the two of us are, that would be Robin Denholm and Kathleen Wilson-Thompson. The special committee and the board deliberated carefully over the decision to grant this interim award against the backdrop of the ever-intensifying AI talent war and Tesla's position at a critical inflection point. We believe it directly addresses a top concern priority for shareholders and the board alike, energizing and focusing Elon on Tesla so he can propel Tesla into its next era of growth while we continue the legal campaign to have the absolutely insane and unjust, horrendous and embarrassing decision by that fake judge essentially overturned, aka, to quote the letter directly, while we continue the legal campaign to have the 2018 CEO Performance Award reinstated. This interim award is structured to incrementally increase his voting rights upon grant, which he has repeatedly told us and shareholders have confirmed. is an important part of incentivizing him to stay focused on the critical work we are doing here at Tesla. We believe this is a vital consideration, and we use the tools currently available to us, our existing equity incentive plan, to grant this award. Now, just to be clear, this will give Elon a very small amount of additional voting control, but we're talking very low single-digit percentages. Better than nothing, but this is obviously simply laying the platform for a new compensation award once the shit has been resolved with the Delaware courts and this insane ruling. Musk has made it very clear, and I suspect most Tesla shareholders will overwhelmingly approve him getting roughly 25%. However, that 25% voting control should be tied directly to milestones relating to AI. A bunch of tranches, maybe 10 each, with an incremental increase in voting control. That's a perfect type of carrot to dangle, performance-based awards. We would also like to stress that prior to recommending this award, we reviewed your letters, read your X post, and considered the direct feedback we have received from many of you in order to align our recommendation with your expressed views. From those communications, we know that one of your top concerns is keeping Elon's energies focused on Tesla. This award is a critical first step toward achieving that goal, although it is limited by the capacity of our current equity incentive plan. As such, we are also working on next steps to address that issue. Still, while our work remains ongoing, we feel it is important to communicate directly and transparency with you all, our shareholders and Tesla's owners. The special committee continues our work to address a longer-term CEO compensation strategy, which we plan to put to a shareholder vote at the November 6th annual meeting. Thank you for your continued support of Tesla, and stay tuned for more information as we get closer to our shareholder meeting. Very yours truly. Never seen that written before. Robin Denholm and Kathleen Wilson-Thompson, members of the special committee of the board of directors. It seems that most Tesla shareholders, if not all, after all, some people following Sawyer Merritt may in fact just be Elon haters. Just make sure they can get the latest breaking news so they can rub one out and then explain why Elon's bad, Tesla's bad, and this new thing's going to be terrible or fail or it's a scam or a fraud, etc. But Sawyer Merritt asked, are you happy with Tesla's announcement today of a $29 billion interim compensation package for Elon Musk? Excluding the not sure and see results responses, aka people who don't know, aren't interested, just want to see what people thought, roughly 94% of the either yes or no votes went to yes, which seems about right. You're always going to have about 5% of people in any population voting on anything with some very, very unusual opinions. The fact that this needed to happen in the first place is truly outrageous, so I do just have again got to take a moment. This activist posing as a judge, destroying the integrity of Delaware, Kathleen McCormick, is truly a putrid human being. Her decision to spit in the face of Tesla shareholders and rob Musk of his fairly earned compensation package, which truly was eat what you kill, e.g. no extraordinary shareholder value increases, no compensation at all, purely incentive-based. No one else on the planet would even accept this. Her decision to spit in the face of Tesla shareholders not once but twice was purely ideologically motivated. She wrote in her ruling, in the opening paragraph, words to the effect of, does the world's richest man really deserve blah, 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 and then she quotes the billions of dollars. Now, the problem is, at the time of the compensation package being issued to Elon Musk, bro wasn't even close to the world's quote-unquote richest man, but even if he was, who gives a flying fuck about that? It's irrelevant. What's relevant is, was it well earned? Was it reasonable? Fair? Did he increase value for Tesla shareholders by an extraordinary amount? Should he get a tiny percentage of that, like 0.3%? Seems fair to me. It was obvious from the outset that this fake judge, who's really just an activist, had a chip on her shoulder, was going with the whole billionaire bad thing. It's so obvious, her bias so clear in the very opening sentence of her absurd ruling. Does the world's richest man, who by the way again wasn't at the time of this, deserve even more money? Then after this turd robbed Tesla shareholders of their will and robbed Elon Musk of his fairly earned compensation, Tesla shareholders then had another opportunity to say, listen, bitch, we approved it then. Even today, we'd still approve it. And by the way, we did overwhelmingly. And yet still she says, no, sorry, Karen knows best. And Karen says no money for you. This shouldn't even be happening. But it is certainly an important first step. Until this litigation plays out, it's the best that Tesla can do. At this point, Tesla shareholders should already have approved a new compensation award spanning the next decade for Elon Musk, with milestones that give him additional ownership of the company, and most importantly of all, additional voting control up to 25% total, not new but including his existing shares, so he can have some say in a company that will be the world leader in embodied AI. I do have one final point to make. It's a very good litmus test. If anybody in your social circle, or unfortunately even family, who you can't choose, is of the mindset that somebody who on paper is worth X, Y, or Z amount of money doesn't deserve any additional compensation, even if they create enormous value for shareholders. That is somebody with a poisonous, toxic, dangerous, and nasty mindset that you should get the fuck out of your life. People like this will poison you with their very presence. People like this have radioactive nastiness. This shit is contagious. Just imagine how retarded it is. I'll give you an example, right? Your favorite band comes to your city, they're going to perform. You demand that they put on a show for free because they've already made enough money touring and adding value to people's lives. So how dare they charge money for tickets in exchange for the value they bring to their audience and their fans? No, it should be free. You want a personal trainer. In fact, you want the world's best personal trainer who's already worth tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. And since that's the case, obviously, they should be your personal trainer for free because they've got enough money. They don't deserve any more money. They're not bringing any value. No, they should work for free. You get the fucking point, right? Anyone who thinks like this is so retarded, not just retarded, but poisonous. And this shit's contagious. That really shouldn't have people like this around you. I'm telling you, I'm warning you. It's not going to end well, okay? This shit is putrid. It's nasty. It's disgusting. It's contagious. It's dangerous. And it should not be in your life. Toxic mindsets can leapfrog from one individual to another. You've been warned. Do not allow your mind to be poisoned by the toxic ooze leaking out of others. We saw earlier, the 2018 CEO Compensation Award resulted in Elon Musk receiving about 1% of the value increase that directly resulted from successfully executing on all the milestones in that plan. The Tesla shareholders themselves cumulatively received. Completely fair and reasonable. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, it's actually really unfair and unreasonable for Elon. He should have got a lot more, in my opinion. Imagine you own a business and you hire an employee and the employee says, hey, look, boss, if I can bring some new business to the company, can we do some sort of like profit sharing type of arrangement here where maybe I get like 0.3% of the profits I bring in? Well, 1%? Well, what about 2%? What about 10%? What about 50-50? I mean, bro, 1/3%. May this be the first step in putting this despicable miscarriage of justice from an activist pretending to be a judge finally to rest. In short, if Elon Musk or anybody creates enormous value through extraordinary execution, it is entirely fair and reasonable for them to be compensated in proportion to the enormous value they create. Extraordinary results, extraordinary value require extraordinary compensation. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.